Hello everyone. The next important topic in our series of important current affairs for Mains 2023 is UNSC Reforms. In this video, let's try to understand why this topic has been in news, what UNSC is, what are the reforms we expect from UNSC, and what are the challenges in reforming the UNSC, and what is the way forward. So now let's start. Why is it in the news? So, United Nations General Assembly is supposed to reform UNSC through negotiations, intergovernmental negotiations. So, this process of reform has been postponed for the next session. It has been rolled over to the next session and India is not happy with it. As we all know, India is very vocal for United Nations Security Council reforms. So, India has termed it as yet another wasted opportunity and said the process could go well for another 75 years without achieving the genuine progress. Why did India say this? We'll understand why is India not happy with United Nations Security Council. So what is United Nations Security Council? So what is United Nations Security Council? United Nations Security Council is one of the 6 principal organs of United Nations and is responsible for maintaining international peace and security. This is very important. And it has 15 member countries. 15 member countries, out of which 5 are permanent, 10 are non-permanent. So what are these 5? China, France, Russia, United Kingdom and the United States. USA, UK, China, France, Russia. These are called P5. These are permanent 5 members. The remaining 10 members are non-permanent and are elected for 2-year terms. We were non-permanent member. Our membership ended recently. India has been a non-permanent member for more than 8 times now. So other 10 countries are non-permanent members. So what are the issues with United Nations Security Council? Representation, like you've seen, USA, UK, China, France, Russia. What does this show you? This is global north. This is global north. All these countries are geographically in the north and all these countries are very developed in comparison to the countries in the south of the globe. So representation, again, we cannot find any representation from countries like, from continents like Africa and Caribbean countries, South America. So there is a problem with representation in UNSC. Veto power. These P5, permanent 5 members have a veto power. They can veto on anything. So this veto power again has become a problem. Ineffectiveness due to this. Lack of transparency because it's always those P5 not arriving at a consensus, resulting in lack of implementation of the decisions. Geopolitical rivalry within P5. China has issues with USA. USA has issues with Russia. Again, so when there are these issues and all the 5 countries can definitely not arrive at a consensus. So this is resulting in ineffective decisions, lack of transparency. Now, what are the challenges in reforming the UNSC? Now, we have seen what are the challenges in UNSC. Now, let's see what are the challenges in reforming the UNSC. First thing is veto power. The P5 members are reluctant. They have enormous powers of vetoing. So, they are not ready to dilute those powers and give it to anybody. Veto power, as it provides them with significant influence over the council's decisions. So veto power is the first issue. Regional rivalries. Different regional groups have competing interests and cannot agree with the uniform reform proposal. Like USA has different interests, China has different interests, Russia has different interests, UK and France have different interests. So, regional rivalries, political complexities. Any reform in the United Nations Security Council requires approval from 2/3 majority of UNGA, United General Assembly. 2/3 majority of United Nations General Assembly is challenging to achieve. We know 2/3 majority of United Nations General Assembly is very difficult to achieve. Thereby, no decision is being effectively taken. So, what is the way ahead? First thing, inclusive dialogue, encouraging an open and inclusive dialogue among member states to find a common ground and explore acceptable compromises. Everybody should be involved. Everybody should be given a role in decision making. Regional representation, expanding the number of non-permanent seats. Currently, we have 10 non-permanent seats, right? It is to expand non-permanent seats, providing better representation to the underrepresented regions. Transparency and accountability, increasing transparency in the Council's decision-making process and improving accountability. Equitable representation again of all the regions in the United Nations Security Council is critical to decentralizing its governing power and authority over nations. So, it will help us in enabling it transforming into representative participatory body. So, these are the way ahead. First thing is inclusive dialogue, then regional representation, increasing transparency and accountability and equitable representation of underrepresented regions. Now, what is India's role in reforms? Like we have been very vocal when it comes to United Nations security reforms. What can India do? Advocacy. India has been actively advocating for United Nations security reform for many years and seeks permanent membership in an expanded and reformed council. Regional influence. India is one of the biggest economic political powers in this region of South Asia or Asia. So, India's growing economic and political significance in Asia Pacific region can add weight to its claim for permanent seat. Global consensus. India can engage diplomatically with other member states to build a broader consensus on UNSC reforms and garner supports for its bid. Contributions to peacekeeping. India is a very large contributor to United Nations peacekeeping forces. India's active participation in UNPKF operations showcases its commitment to maintaining international peace and security, which is actually the objective of UNSC. Problem solving approach. India can continue to play a constructive role in addressing global challenges, contributing its expertise in addressing issues like climate change, terrorism, and pandemics, which can strengthen its case for permanent membership. So, this is it. We have seen what is UNSC, what are its functions, why does it need reforms, why are reforms challenging, way forward, and also role of India. Thank you.